Travis?
Hi, I'm actually looking to get a mural done. So I'm trying to look into that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are you located?
I'm right there.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, we're
Is this
actually
a residential? Go
w-
ahead.
yeah, I'm actually from the Zeta Alpha Beta frat house. We're looking to get something done for our fallen frat bro from a few months ago. There was an incident and we lost him. We were looking to get kind of a tribute done on the side of the frat house in honor of him.
Gotcha. Sorry to hear that. So I'm assuming like a portrait or something, or
Yeah,
did you have something else?
we were hoping to get kind of creative with it. And we all brainstormed and we have some ideas. So maybe I can tell you about those.
Sure.
Yeah. So he was a ladies' man. So we were hoping we could do. I've seen mural things before where there's like the girls standing next to his date of his lifespan. Where they have the boobs and stuff. Like we were kind of hoping to get one of those, if that's possible. I don't know if that's the kind of art you do. Um,
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
oh, awesome, awesome! The guys are gonna be excited when they hear that. Um, and he was into hockey. He was actually a goalie. So another thing we were looking at possibly is like maybe integrating that, like maybe a hockey net as like a sort of backdrop.
Okay.
Okay.
What size were you guys thinking on the wall or the space you're trying to fill?
It's the size of it's a building. We all live together in a frat house. Yeah, I don't know about the measurements exactly. I could get back to you on that possibly.
Okay. That's just kind of one of the criteria that I use to give a quote is, roughly how big is it? What is the surface? Is it like slatted wood? Is it stone? Is it flat?
Oh,
I'm assuming it
yeah, it's stone and
is it.
it's a white building. Yeah.
Okay. So an exterior wall.
Correct. Yeah, it'd be on the outside.
Gotcha. Is it something where it's easily accessible from a ladder as far as like my getting to it as well as like the vantage point of whoever's going to be seeing it, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I mean
Sometimes the best
yeah,
plant.
it should be perfectly safe and everything. We're not trying to put it up like really high. It's kind of at a moderate, like pretty eye level, a little bit above that is where we're looking to put it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, sounds good. The way I kind of go about it is I request, if possible, which seems like it should be, to get a photo of the wall that you're wanting to put it on. And then if you could also like email me any photos you guys have, the girls type, hair color. If you guys find photos, I can help find photo reference too. But if you and the brothers, are like, oh, he preferred blonde, flattened girls, whatever, you guys can kind of send me some photo reference. Obviously, the date, all of the specifics of it. Then what I like to do is kind of do an initial cut and paste kind of digital mock-up that I will superimpose on the wall, so it'll look as if the mural's already done. That way, we can kind of do the editing process of let's change the size of the girl, smaller, bigger, the date, bigger, smaller, colors, placement on the wall, how big the mural is actually on the wall. You can run a tape on it and say, if we were to fill this space, it's 8 feet by 8 feet or whatever. Then that way I can kind of get a better idea of how many, elements you're wanting incorporated into it, roughly the size, and then I can give you a quote. If it fits your guys' budget, then great. I just require a 50% deposit down. That secures the job, next date on the schedule, and I buy paint and supplies, which are included in the quoted price, all paint materials. And then once the deposit's made, I kind of let you know where my schedule's to, how far out I'm booking, and then get you on the schedule.
Okay, that's great, and I'm glad that you're collaborative with the process. That you're going to allow us to be sort of creative with what we put on the mural. It sounds like definitely know what you're doing, all the logistics and whatnot. And I have a few more things. It's kind of large. Like we kind of want it to be expansive. So I had a few more things that were important to him that maybe you could jot down as well. Um, we were hoping to get sort of a beer can situation. He was partying, having fun with all of us was a big part of his life. And that's actually he died doing what he loved, thankfully. He actually tried to jump off the balcony into this kiddie pool filled with beer, which was, in hindsight, not advisable. So a beer can and a Guinness specifically would be great. Um, and money is definitely not a problem. We do have a frat bro who has a sort of a rich dad. He's an executive over at Pringles. So that'll all be covered. We're not really limited by the price.
Okay.
Yeah. So are you like taking notes? The kind of stuff we would want on there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm driving home for a project now, but I'm pretty good at kind of jotting all that stuff down.
You make
We
mental
can
notes.
also just kind of have you, when you send me over the photo, whether you text it or email it, maybe just jot a couple of those things down, more of the specifics, and sometimes the photo reference answers that too. So like, I've got noted the sexy girls with boobs and stuff, but again, if you guys know him best and say he likes brunettes over blondes or one of each, or
Yeah, one
in
of
a
each would be good.
bikini
Probably he liked
versus
all kinds.
versus it's more just some of the specifics, which is great with the mock-up process, because if you guys send me photos like he loved this, maybe it's a particular celebrity or a model or something, we can always just go straight off of that reference, or even if you just told me a name or something like that, then I can also do my own Google searches and find some reference. With my creative conceptualization design part of it, sometimes me looking and finding the photos, I'll find poses and things and lighting that might lean itself better to the overall design. Just if they're flanking it left and right, if we're having the date in the center based on where we put the can, the different things like that. It's kind of a collage-based mural in design. So then it's really just, well, let's give us a jumping off point with the initial mock-up, and then you guys get the freedom and the fun of kind of, editing it a la carte style of like, no, let's change this, let's make that bigger and move it around here or whatever. So I like to kind of be the artist for my clients, where it's not anything pretentious with me about what I'm limited, what I will or won't do, or this is the way I paint it and this is, my artistic interpretation. No, I'm trying to fulfill the need and provide a service for my clients. And so in this case, you guys are wanting to honor him and do it as if you could paint it yourself, because if you could, you would. So in this sense, it's like I'm designing it around what you guys see in your heads and what would hit that on the head perfectly. So let's get the jumping off process going. Maybe just text me to this number any photos you have, or I'll text you my email, and then you can send them either way. And then I'll kind of just get the process going, and that'll get the ball rolling for us.
Yeah, I'll definitely get back to you with. I'll send you a picture of the wall that we're looking to paint on, as well as like measurements and whatnot, so you're aware of all that stuff. And since you say you have no limits, we did have some stuff on the wish list that we weren't sure if we wanted to ask about because it's a little bit more edgy. But I'll ask you since you say you're very open with that stuff. So he was very proud of his heritage. And this can be a touchy subject with some people. But would political iconography be all right for you to put on there as well, like a swastika potentially?
Yeah, I mean that's a situation where, again, I would only advise that you guys are more likely to potentially attract attention where I have a lot of clients technically, and you're supposed to get um, uh, clearance from the city for like murals and things for businesses, or based on where you're located, sometimes there's HOAs and things like that. So I've had some clients that do their due process, they submit, they do the application, the whole deal. What the city's really looking for is for people to not try to make huge advertisement billboards, because there's limitations on signs and signage and stuff. So they don't want a company to say, okay, we've met our sign requirements that can only be 5x6 here, but we're going to have somebody paint our company logo on the wall 30 feet big. They don't want Ben to become tacky with overdone imagery of certain things and stuff. And if clearly somebody wanted like a huge swastika put on the side of their building, they're going to deny that because it's not friendly to the meeting of their standards and all those things. So that's kind of why earlier I was hinting at, even just with the sexy girls and stuff, like, is this a wall that like only you guys are able to see from the frat house? Or is it if people are walking down the sidewalk, are they going to look over and see it? Because the reason I preface that is some of my other clients say, hey, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. And if the city comes to us, we say, oh, hey, we didn't know, but really it would have got approved anyway because it's, a mountain scene or, some trees or some different things, or even their logo or something, as long as it's not too large and garish or something. But the reason I say that is because if you get eyes on it where people are offended and upset, they're going to report you. Then the city gets involved, and then they make you paint it out, and it's all for nothing. So,
don't want that.
If it's out of sight, out of mind, kind of hidden, then I think you'd be fine if it's just a frat brother thing viewing it. But as you know, there's a lot of Karens out there and people that just want to make a stink, let alone be offended by it. So I only give you that heads up just so you guys don't have to remove it. Or worst case, it's something where when we design it, maybe there's a way to be a little more subliminal and cryptic with how we place it and do it so that it's not so obvious, one. And two, if it needed to be painted out because somebody makes a stink, it doesn't affect the design of the mural, and it's something that we can paint out and you would have never known it was missing. You know what I mean?
Right, I got you. And it is definitely something in the public eye. The college, they generally, I don't know about the town, they might have different standards, but our college tends to let us get away with whatever. My preppers, we give, or well, our parents give a lot of money to the school. But yeah, the town, they, I'm sure, could possibly take issue with it. But I'd like what you said about asking for forgiveness first. Like maybe we can throw it up there, then if they tell us we have to take it down, we can correct and whatnot.
Sure. Other options that I also offer to some clients too, because they don't want to invest in something and then they say, this isn't a forever home, we're going to move in 5 years or something like that. I can do it on stretched canvas with exterior paints and things like that, where I trim it out. So I put the canvas up on the wall and then I put like a molding trim around it. So it almost looks like a framed canvas up on the wall type deal versus a direct application mural. And it's easy to remove off because it's just lightly tacked in the corners. Then that way, if they say, hey, we don't like these sexy boobs and swastika or whatever it is, that kind of thing, you guys can move it somewhere inside, put it in a room, put it in a cafeteria, conference room, something, so you haven't lost out on the whole piece of art. And then maybe as graduating classes go to leave and you guys are the ones that knew him, but maybe the next upcoming class didn't, whoever, is spearheading this, somebody like yourself or something, can always pop it down, roll it up, you get to keep it, or, give it to somebody that would appreciate it, those kind of things. So these are kind of workarounds to where if worst case you do get a bunch of heat on it, then okay, let's pivot and let's put this up in the mess hall and we all still get to appreciate it the same, but we're compliant to all the Karens and people that might complain because of where we originally wanted to put it.
Right, right. And that'd be awesome to have something that we could hang on to. We are graduating at the end of this school year, and as you say, I know there's a lot of liberal pussies out there that are probably going to take issue with whatever we do, especially the kind of stuff we're trying to do here. So I won't push it any further. I know it's already pretty controversial. Because we were also hoping.
Go ahead.
We were also hoping to get like a sort of replica of his dick, but like that, that's probably too much for sure. Yeah, we were thinking he could look down and finally, he wasn't huge down there, but we were hoping he could look down and finally say, I have a big one, because you're going to upsize it. But I guess we don't have to do that.
I get what you're saying. I did a lot of light drawing and painting in art school where I had to sit there and paint some dude with his schlong out just standing there in anatomy class and stuff. So it's not that I'm opposed to it as far as like that. I get the humor in it and the joke. It's something that put it this way, if it was going on a canvas that you guys were hanging in a room somewhere and it was for yucks and chuckles and those kind of things, I personally as an artist find humor in it. I'm a college guy, sports guy, football player, teammate, that kind of thing myself. So I get the context in which it's being done. But I would have to say there's a bit of professionalism where I'm known in this whole area as a mural artist, and my work, whether I sign it, don't sign it, is somebody going to see me painting it and look and it affects my business down the road because they're like, oh, what a prick. He's over there painting dicks and swastikas. He should have denied that job because that's in bad taste. I wouldn't want it to negatively reflect on me, even though I personally don't care to create it. If it was for something that was less where I'm going to be seen directly painted on the wall and it has my name on it, if you understand that. So if it was something I painted on canvas here in my studio, get put up, quickly enough that it's not something that, I'm seen, doing an art install and people are looking, because I have people all over town when I'm doing murals, they'll take pictures, they'll tag me on Instagram. It's like, it's a known thing that when they see me around town working on murals, it's a bit recognizable for me to be doing things. And just full disclosure, I would hate to, quotations, tarnish my name or come across as unprofessional and lose out on business with people or get a word of mouth bad rap just because I'm participating in some good fun. But like you said, the party poopers and the liberal pussies and all that kind of stuff, they're not necessarily the people I want to work with anyway. But just trying to avoid that as much as I can, just because it's what puts food on the table for me. So I'm sure there's a way I can work with you guys. We can find some workarounds and come up with a way that it makes sense logistically, not only for the fact that somebody might want to take it with them in a year when you guys graduate, but also it's a way that I'm not there day after day after day working on a mural where I have a lot more eyes on me for a longer period of time. We can kind of treat it like a Banksy or something where you're kind of in and out and nobody even knows who made it, if that makes sense.
Totally. We definitely aren't looking to tarnish your reputation. You seem like a great guy, and we'll definitely be happy that you're willing to work with us. We've had to call around a little bit now, and you're the first person who has been this understanding. So yeah, definitely not trying to hurt your brand or anything.
Yeah. No, and I know it wouldn't be intentional. It's just one of those natural byproducts of it that I'm trying to share with you guys. It's one of those things where you seem understanding of it, but you might not consider offhand like, oh yeah, that you don't want to have it come back negatively on you. So I appreciate you, understanding that. So I would say ideally then, based on everything you guys are wanting, that maybe a canvas, because I get them in big rolls, and I can do them still 6, 7, 8 feet, whatever, and then unlimited length because they come in a roll. So once we have some more kind of specifics on the dimensions of what you're thinking, that's something that I can, we can cross that bridge and say, yeah, let's get a roll of canvas and paint it on that. Then we can bring it in, get it thrown up, no harm, no foul, and it gives us a lot of pivot room if any heat comes your way. Because then you guys, like I said, you can move it, you can do it. And another option is obviously somebody would get the original, but it's also something I can take a photo of when it's all said and done. And I have a couple large format digital printers where I reproduce my work and stuff anyway. So just throwing it out there that if there's multiple frat brothers that maybe want something like this and something smaller, even like a little 12 by 12 as like a keepsake to remember him, but not something they might necessarily want to throw on their wall or whatever. It's something that can go in the old college storage bin or something to remember the fallen brother that, is an easy reproducible thing without needing to have an 8-foot mural.
Totally, yeah. And you sound like you're the guy. You're very knowledgeable on this, and we're glad to have you on our team. And that's a great idea, actually. I didn't even realize that there might be more portable versions of it that they could take around. Because it's true, everybody might want a copy of it. But I'll let you go, and I'll definitely be in contact with you about those details. And yeah, I appreciate your understanding on all this.
Absolutely. What was your name again, brother?
Well, they call me Johnny Boy. You can call me Johnny.
Johnny, good to meet you. I'll text this number right here, the 415. I'll text you my email, and then whichever way is easier for you, text or email, just shoot over what you have, and we'll just get things moving.
Okay. Thank you very much, man.
You got it. Have a good one.
You too. Oh my God, he was way too open to that. That call went on for fucking forever. He just would not stop talking. To be clear, this call was not in any way inspired by current political events, because that would be immoral and it would be wrong.